channel.
Hey, you know what time it is, No Press fam? Welcome everyone to another episode of Beatdown, the segment and channel where two worlds collide. I am your host, Class. And as always guys, if you guys enjoy our content, you know what you guys can do. You can share, you can like, or you can subscribe to our channel. When you guys subscribe to our channel, you know what you do? You guys are building our empire and allowing us to provide you guys with even much more greater content for you guys to enjoy. And on today's episode, entering the Beatdown arena, we have the Kryptonian going against the Strontian. Yeah, we're bringing you these two characters go mano to end our final year of 2023, saying goodbye to 2023, and then we'll be entering 2024. So let's start things off. I'll be representing and starting off with the brief origin story of Marvel Comics' own Gladiator. Kallark was an alien from the planet Strontian, and their people had Superman type powers, meaning they could fly and had super strength, shoot heat vision out of their eyes, the works. Their people swore allegiance to the Shi'ar Empire, and at a young age, they would be recruited to do battle based on their incredible powers. 10 were selected as their most promising, and in one of those ranks was Kallark. They were given one more top secret task to prove their loyalty to the Shi'ar, but taking their elders who ruled over them. The other 9 refused, but Kallark was the only one willing to follow orders blindly for the Empire, and so he was rewarded for his act, given a boost in his powers, and became the commander of the Imperial Guard, going by the name now Gladiator. Alright, now let's get into the bath, shall we? Alright, here's the feats. He can count 10 million micro sentinels within moments, nanoseconds reaction time, take on Galactus. He galaxy hopped from the Shi'ar to Asgard, destroyed planets without breaking a sweat, fly light years in mere moments, blew out Human Torch's flame, heat vision, can destroy asteroids, can take on Jane Foster's Thor, took on Invisible Woman when she was powered up with the cosmic. It's called like a uni something. I'm pretty sure I said that right, hopefully. He can fly through stars, comparable to strength by the Hulk, and that was compared by Thanos himself. Fought Phoenix Force's Cyclops, collapsed stars with his own hand, fought Drax with a single hit, fought Wonder Man and Black Bolt, not simultaneously, but he's fought one and the other at one point in the comics, and he fought Eric Masterson's Thor as well. And someone has said that all of the X-Men combined couldn't take out Gladiator himself. Think about what that list is. We're talking like Colossus, Wolverine, Cyclops, Jean, Storm. I mean, we're Rogue. I mean, we're talking a Nightcrawler. We're talking Psylocke. We're talking everybody. Shout out to Comics Explained. We're not working with them personally, but we like to give credit where credit is due. So if you guys enjoy the background videos in these contents, please feel free to check out this YouTube channel for more great quality stuff. Alright, so let's get into the end game, how Gladiator would defeat Supergirl. So for starters, his experience, I mean, Supergirl has had some experience, but I want to say Gladiator has fought probably much more top tier level characters in the comics. Galactus is a top tier character, like that's a lot. And I know Supergirl has fought some top tier characters too, but when it comes to the record, it seems like Gladiator just keeps on fighting much more top tier characters. He fought Hyperion. I'm not sure if he fought Sentry. He fought Galactus. I mean, he's fought like a countless amount of characters bit by bit, and they just are cosmic level threats, and him himself is also a cosmic level threat. So yeah, there's something to be said that his experience alone might be a better record and meaning that he probably knows how to throw down with the top tier characters, even Supergirl. Now another thing is, because of his experience, he probably will try to do this quickly, because obviously he doesn't want to take too much time with Supergirl, and I'm sure he doesn't want to do a long fight with her, so he's gonna probably just try to do as fast as he can with her, so that way she doesn't get any chances on taking an upper advantage on him, because they're kind of overconfident and they kind of go through, so he's just gonna go all in and not let Supergirl breathe for that moment. Another thing is that yes, Supergirl has a lot of powers. Okay, she has a heat vision. She has ice breath. She has super speed, super strength, all this other stuff. That's great. But you got to remember, Gladiator has all that too. And on top of that, even let's say, okay, he wasn't using those weapons. He's still familiar, and the person saying that he could take on all the X-Men rosters says a lot. Okay, because it just means, it goes to show that he has a diverse arsenal. He could take on a person with a heat vision. He can take on somebody with a solid material armor. He can take on someone who can heal, or someone who can control the weather, which means that whatever Supergirl has in her arsenal is not going to be any different than any of the X-Men would have been thrown all together to go against Gladiator. So there isn't an advantage for Supergirl in this sense. If Gladiator goes quickly, based on his experience, he would. And on top of that, the fact that he can take on all the X-Men means that Supergirl doesn't have anything in her weaponry that's really going to surprise Gladiator. Okay, and another note I'll probably, as a final note, is that because of his experience, he also is familiar with the galaxy, which means he knows probably every planet around the block, since he's been everywhere pretty much, which means he's familiar in his experience and his time out there, compared to Supergirl, who is more familiar, not all the time, going into cosmic level planetary situations, more like she's focusing on Earth more than she's focusing on always going out there. But with Gladiator, that's not always the case. So with Gladiator, there's an argument to be said that his experience alone might be familiar. Let's say if these two were in the same universe and she actually is someone he knows about Kryptonians, he would probably know their weaknesses, which means he would know where to find planets that would have those weaknesses. And another thing is that even if, let's say, he couldn't find kryptonite, keeping her away from solar energy, find a planet that absorbs energy or absorbs solar energy could be a possibility. Another thing is there's probably another planet out there that has like uncontrollable gravity that shifts in different directions, which he's familiar with and he knows timing wise compared to her. Like, there's just a lot of ways where if they go somewhere else out of her element, Gladiator has a much more confidence and much more familiarity with it, going around the block, knowing what to do in a situation, compared to Supergirl, who is going to be completely off guard if she's thrown in a situation, in an environment where she doesn't know if the gravity is going to shift, or if there's kryptonite anywhere, or if there's something that's absorbing her energy or her powers. Either way, all of those things being said, is that Gladiator's, again, this one thing in the factor is his experience alone. Yes, Supergirl's experience, but Gladiator is more experienced. He's kind of in the same ballpark as Superman. So I would say that with that experience, he would be able to find the weaknesses compared to her, who she wouldn't see it coming. And then eventually he'll be able to take advantage of those exposed weaknesses and then claim W on this one. All right, and on this end, I'll be representing DC Comics and talking about their brief origin story, Supergirl. Supergirl, when she was a baby, lived in a city that managed to be chipped off or was separated from Krypton before Krypton was destroyed. And Kara lived there for a little while until eventually the planet was also going to face its ultimate demise as well, or the city was also going to face its ultimate demise as well. Eventually the parents decided, okay, we're going to need to find a new home for our little girl, and eventually they saw Superman on Earth, and they decided, okay, we're going to send her there. So they sent a space shuttle to Earth. The planet gets destroyed just like Krypton did, and then she crash lands on Earth. Superman finds her, and then he finds out during their whole encounter that, oh my God, we're cousins, and thus the origins of Supergirl. All right, Bath, let's get into it, shall we? Here are the feats. Black Star and Supergirl together have the power to pulverize the entire galaxy, kick the moon out of orbit, and bring it back faster than the speed of light. She's fast enough to travel back in time, and time travel in general, which this is before pre-crisis, so we're clear. This is old school comics, so we're clear. She can stand the force of a gravity of 1 billion times stronger than Earth. telescopic vision, repair a broken mirror with her heat vision, got into it with Anti-Monitor, took down Brimstone, sent Ultraman flying, took down Giganta, dislocated Superboy's jaw, chipped Darkseid's face, that's not easy to do, knocked out Donna Troy, took on Superman, and also Power Girl. Not at the same time, but at one point they both took her on one-on-one, and it wasn't that easy to take her down. She arm wrestled Lobo for 2 hours straight, and so we're clear, she let him win. He won, but she let him win. She was like, yeah, I didn't break a sweat, but I could have beaten you. I just let you win. So she kind of clowned on him on that one. Okay. She can compress coal into diamonds. Bizarro claims Supergirl is as strong as him. She can crack a planet in half, pierced by a magical arrow. She removed it and healed immediately. Took a blast from a white dwarf star bomb. Fought Brainiac robots. Prevented crime in Gotham for 24 hours straight. Just imagine a superhero who could stop somebody from mugging you and getting a car accident or stealing a car. There's just so many things that could happen. Had the willpower to take down a lantern ring and used it to take a lantern ring and used it against them. And that lantern was John Stewart, who can create his own solar system with his own will. She beat him being entirely made out of will. Intercepted Darkseid's Omega Beam. Her heat vision can hurt Superman. Cut a car in half with her heat vision as well. Blow away large tsunamis. Yeah, blow away large tsunamis. Man, we could have really used her on certain situations. She can do a solar flare attack. Her suit is actually made of armor. Took out a kryptonite bullet out of herself. She once had the power of the Red Lantern ring, which made her a universal threat in that level. To Comic Historian on YouTube for the background video. We're not working together, but I like to give credit where credit is due. So check out his channel to hear comic stories come to life through amazing visual editing and stunning performing voice acting you gotta see for yourself. Show some love and support the channel as well. Alright, let's get into the endgame, how Supergirl would defeat Gladiator. So let's start off with an easy one. Supergirl, if Gladiator decided to throw a building, weapons, anything that really was dangerously, that could actually hurt Supergirl, that could actually penetrate the skin, maybe some kind of magical element, I don't really know. It wouldn't really matter because Supergirl could just pull it out of herself and then heal right away and then get back to work on him again. So Gladiator, that's not really going to do very much for him in that sense. Another thing is to consider is that Gladiator is one of his greatest weakness, which is surprising to me, is two things. One is radiation and willpower. Okay, so let's talk about the two. So, radiation wise, that's not good. So that means if any time and point Supergirl takes him anywhere that is particular with certain radiations, he could get weakened and then she could just go ahead and take advantage of him from that point and that perspective. And that's kind of an unfortunate situation. Another thing to consider is the will. These Strontians are very confident and over cocky, and sometimes that confidence, if they get taken down by someone or even have any slight of doubt, it could destroy their will, and that will would actually weaken their abilities. It's almost like their own kryptonite. And given the fact that Supergirl has taken a Green Lantern ring and used it against them, their own will, and used her strong will against him, yeah, there's a possibility her will is going to overpower his will at some point. Another thing is that you remember, now the reason why I say why is that possible is because she overpowered John Stewart will. John Stewart is the same guy again who can create his own solar system. So if she was able to stop the will of his, yeah, I gotta say, you can say the same thing, rules apply for Gladiator. Alright, so let's talk about another thing. Well, now another thing she can do with her willpower is, well, if she does happen to have it, wild card wise, she could use the Red Lantern ring. Now, if she happens to put that Red Lantern ring on, it is going to probably be over for Gladiator. Gladiator is strong and has fought some pretty impressive, powerful forces, but her will is tremendously strong. And with her powers being amplified even 10 times to whatever level it normally is, it's going to be something he's not going to be able to see coming, and it's going to take his his willpower down a peg. Eventually she's going to overcome him with that ring. And now let's say maybe she doesn't want to use her powers and she just wants to throw down with the mano a mano, or he evens the odd and they can't use their powers and it's just fist to fist. Don't forget, Supergirl is not some just, hey, I just rely on my superpowers. No, she has been trained by some very great warriors like Batman, and Batman has known every martial arts, so obviously you know that. And of course, Amazonian warriors. And Amazonian warriors are nobody you want to mess with. If there's anybody you never want to get in the crossfires with, it's Wakandians and Amazonians. Okay, they will destroy you. So having training from them, yeah, even without her power, she could really throw down with the best, including Gladiator. A couple of other things I'll make as my point is, if she let's say he decides to get a submission lock on her, I do believe he wouldn't be able to keep that grip because she does have this solar flare energy, and if you've seen the solar flare energy, it's pretty damn powerful when Superman does it. And the same rules apply to Supergirl, not completely to his level, but still similar on the block, which means that it's obviously going to push Gladiator off his toes just for a mere moment, or even for a mere second, but enough for Supergirl to make her quick escape and then throw down with him again. Now, another thing, let's say Gladiator decides, you know what, I'm just gonna completely solid her in some kind of solid material and she's gonna be stuck in there, and that's my victory. That is going to completely ruin the game for him when he sees her phasing through it. Now, here's the funny thing about Supergirl. Supergirl in the comics, she learned some tricks from Flash. Flash taught her how to phase through solid materials and almost every material known to existence, which means that there is a possibility that in a moment when Gladiator decides to try to confine her in some solid material, she could phase through it, and that itself is going to put Gladiator's doubt completely down, because if he couldn't put her down in that way and completely conceal her, that means he knows that there's nothing he can really do to keep her from coming after him, and then that will be doubtful, and Supergirl again will be able to take advantage of that. So at the end of the day, Supergirl, as long as she keeps to fight, on top of that, her training, she's also learned to be quick. So it's not only Gladiator who's probably going to be thinking about the quick draw, Supergirl's also going to probably think about the quick draw, because she's learned in her training that she needs to take her enemy out immediately. Don't give them the satisfaction and the time and the effort. So phase through objects, take her enemy out quickly, use all her might. She can use a Red Lantern ring as a Hail Mary and claim the W on this end. But as always, no press fam, it's not up to me, it's up to you guys. So if you liked either one of my arguments, you know what you can do? You can hashtag Supergirl or you can hashtag Gladiator. But as always, no press fam, we really appreciate you guys keeping it 300 subs. Happy New Year, guys. Peace.